What's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, for my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D and Double OT, Terrific Trav. The boys are back in town, or like we are known as now, the Banks Bunch. I mean, are we going to stick with that?
No, Trav, don't. You're always trying to slap that Banks on.
Always. I mean, because you take it to the bank, man. Like that's what it is. Yeah. Hey. Ashley, you see what I got to deal with here?
If you ain't talking dollars, you ain't making sense.
I like that. Hey, you know what? I'm going to start using that. You know, when I'm cutting a program with the microphone in the ring, I'm going to start saying that. If you ain't using dollars, then you ain't making sense. So
that's not even what she said. Look, you see how we already changed what she said?
If you ain't talking dollars, you ain't making sense.
Oh, okay, what I did, Ashley, you know, I didn't want to take what you said.
That's fair.
I put my own little spin on it, but then
that spin don't make no sense though. No, what he's saying, if you ain't using money, you can't spend the change.
It's just like when D says, you know, I might have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. So I came up with my own.
Yeah, listen to this. I'm glad he said that.
What's Banks' version?
That's a bar. That's a bar.
My version is, I might have been born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. That's what I came up with.
It's too long. Yeah, see, she's trying to give you a little credit. Yeah, she's a guest. She's trying to be welcome.
Oh my God. Hey, I haven't even said who the guest is. And joining us today is voice actress Ashley Biski. Ashley, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing really good. I'm really excited to be here.
Hey, I love to hear that, man. The energy is already high, and we're going to keep it high as this interview goes on. We're celebrating Black History Month here on the channel. So, Ashley, again, thank you so much for joining us up here. And before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you say every time, unless you're in the Speed Force.
Okay. Don't bring that up, please. As always, other episodes of the podcast found in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching or listening.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I almost skipped over this because Trav, you weren't here with us last time. But what is your tip of the day?
My tip of the day, look, when somebody gives you a bar, keep that bar. You don't got to change the bar.
The bar.
You got to put your own spin on the bar.
Yeah, but you need to be specific about which bar you're talking about because the bar could refer to anything.
Hey, look, D giving you Lupe Fiasco bars, and you over here turning them into little Uzi bars, bro.
I thought you was gonna say
thanks, Trav. Thank you, Trav.
I got you.
He blessed me with the Lupe.
I got you.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So, Ashley, the first question that I ask each and every guest up here is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one, so tell everybody who you are.
Well, I feel like I'm in my villain arc right now, but you know,
welcome.
You know, I'm an army brat. Military's been my life. I grew up in Arizona, lived overseas in Europe, came back here. I've been doing theater all my life. Musical theater has my heart. I've been doing on camera, print work. And then, you know, the pandemic kind of had me stumble into voiceover because I was doing on camera work here in SoCal. And couldn't do nothing else, right? I was already dabbling into VO work before, like commercially, but since I'm sitting here, you know, I was like, why not? I'm not doing anything else. And it kind of, you know, my mantra is try everything because you never know what you'll be good at. You may just be good at everything. So I was like, I don't have anything to lose. I may be bomb. And now here we are. So it took a lot of trial and effort. I had a scholarship to the New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts when I was in high school, but I was terrified. Dad was deployed like 12 months at a time. Mom, you know, basically military families, for those of you that don't know, back in the day at the height of the war, like your moms and your wives were single parents for half the time, couldn't talk to their husbands or anything. So, you know, that was a lot to deal with. And then having that extra pressure of, I really want to do this, but I'm not sure. And, you know, back then acting wasn't seen as something, especially growing up in small towns, you know, military bases, traveling around. It wasn't something that was like a feasible thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to college, you know, you got to make it. And so that passed me by. Life happened. but there was always something reminding me. Like I would see people I went to school with in my small town on TV. And I was like, how the hell is he there? Like, what are you doing? And I would see this person all the time, every single year on random stuff. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, the universe is trying to tell me something, you know, like you'd put this on the back burner, but this is your purpose has a way of showing up and showing out. You try to run as far as you can, but it'll hit you in the face. Mm-hmm. And so here I am. That's awesome. That was really long. I know that was really long. It was like a TED Talk. So
no. We've had longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most guests always say that. I know this is long.
Okay. I'll feel bad. I'll feel bad no more.
Don't. I mean, but it's just like I love it when we get origin stories that are long because it gives us a lot of ammunition to pick apart and dissect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So deep dive.
I want to ask you first. Like, what was it that led you to wanting to get in the theater?
I used to watch black and white movies all the time and like the musicals. I love a musical. The Wiz is great. You know, that's black musical, right?
Yeah.
Ease on down the road. You know what I mean? So it's like I loved musicals, Singing in the Rain, anything that had a song to it. It just felt fun. And so theater was fun for me, taking on a character and you're like larger than life. I love Shakespeare, to the chagrin of many. I love Shakespeare. I don't know what the hell he's saying half the time, but the way he writes and the way you perform it, it's like you're using your feeling. Like nobody can understand what you're saying, but it's the passion you put behind the words that move people. And so that was like another driving force was studying Shakespeare and yeah, man, just musicals are really good. I mean, my life is a musical. I could break out a song in a minute.
Whoa. Because we like to sing up here. You know what I'm saying?
I like to sing. Don't tempt me with a good time.
And then let me ask you something. Have you seen Turning Red?
Yes.
Are you a Four Townie?
This guy only knows.
I'm a Four Townie.
Do you want to sing with me?
I mean, I don't know the words, but I guess I can pick up. Okay.
I know the word. What song? Hey, y'all, what song should I sing?
You want it?
I want it.
You want it?
I want it.
You want it?
I want it. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4.
This guy.
You wanted it. You went for it. And baby, you got it. You
Trav, help this guy out.
You went for it. And baby, you
got it.
Why are y'all singing? We supposed to be 3 Towns.
Any reason to sing this song?
Come on,
he said there's no reason ever in life to sing.
So, all right. So Ashley, look. I was a MC at Superstar Anime last year.
That sounds great.
And D and his son, they were waiting in line, and the runner of the convention of the con, he was just like, "Hey, go hype up the crowd." And I was just like, "Okay, cool. You give me a mic. I'm a professional wrestler. I know how to hype up a crowd." So I get on the microphone and I'm hyping everybody up. And I was just like, all right, I need y'all to make some noise. I was like, you want it? And everybody was making noise. And I was looking right at D when I was saying it because I knew like he couldn't.
You knew he wanted it.
He couldn't say anything. And his son Isaiah was just sitting there smiling because he knew exactly what I was doing. And I'll never let that down.
Kind of person you are. It's cool.
He's a good time. He's a good time.
He wanted it and he went for it.
Yeah, I wanted it and I went for it. D, you didn't want it.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay because I need you to want it.
No, I just chill. That's what I do. That's my secret, Captain. I always chill.
But at Trav, I'll pass the mic to you, sir.
Yeah, I know you brought up a couple, Singing in the Rain, The Wiz. What's some of the ones that you were involved in, though?
I was involved in Into the Woods. Into the Woods is probably my favorite. Yeah, Into the Woods is probably one of my faves. I did one of like the Jungle Book. That's not a thing, but it was at the time. And I was Bagheera.
That's the name of my cat.
That's a great name.
Yeah, his sister's name's Baloo. It's Baloo.
Yeah,
I don't know where he is.
This is a sign.
There it is.
This is serendipitous. But yeah, no, Into the Woods is my favorite. Into the Woods is one of my. I also love the movie.
I was gonna ask you if you like the movie.
Mhm.
The movie's fire.
Yeah, no
yeah.
question.
Banks ain't seen the movie though.
Yeah,
I haven't.
So, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
we
I'm
have.
looking it up right now. I'm looking it up.
Look it up.
Yeah.
The thing that inspired me though was I don't know. I'm aging myself. I know it, but do y'all remember when The Lion King 2 came out?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Not
course.
1.5.
Simba's
The Lion
Pride.
Yeah, too.
Simba's
Yes.
About
Pride.
Simba's Pride.
Okay,
Oh,
these are my people. These
we
are
know
my
about the
people.
Lion King.
These are my
Hey,
people.
we were just talking about deception.
Yeah, that's
This
right.
great.
You were
Hey.
singing that. You were just singing it.
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
that zebra. Oh, go ahead.
They were singing, right? Like, so that when that movie came out was when they also did The Lion King on Broadway at the same time. Now, The Lion King on Broadway
It's so
was
fire.
a life-changing
fire.
experience. For anyone that hasn't seen it, it was probably like one of the top things at the time that was black. That was black.
Right.
They had black
all
people.
black. Yeah. Mhm.
Right. And it was crazy. Songs were fire. Costumes were fire. They won a Tony for everything. But that was like the thing I was like, oh my God, like I gotta be in stuff like this. So that, and I watch it every time. Every time it tours, I have to see it every single time. I know every single song. But that was like my defining moment for theater.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
got Hamilton coming to town.
Oh, Hamilton's
I don't know if
great
y'all
too.
knew that.
So
that's your neck of the woods.
I know that it's coming, and I haven't seen the musical yet.
Of course.
But when I was coming back home from KatsuCon, Megan had put the soundtrack on, and
So
we
fire.
listened to it the entire time. And I had told them, I was just like, "Yo, I really want to watch the musical now since I listened to the entire thing." I don't know why I put it off for so long. I mean, y'all know why I am. I
Well,
put everything on.
it's on the list, right?
It's on my list.
It's on the
It's on the
infamous
list.
list.
Okay,
So-
let's go.
The goddamn
Yeah.
list.
The
Now,
only thing going is the list because he ain't watched nothing on this damn list.
Hey.
I've watched stuff. I mean, it just takes me a while to get to, but everybody always gets surprised whenever I name things that I haven't seen. Like I can't help it. But it's not
Yeah,
about
you
me.
can.
It's about Ashley.
Yes,
Ashley, don't let
exactly.
these guys corrupt you.
yeah, get you off the hook. So, Ashley, I wanted to talk a little bit. I had a two-part question.
Okay.
What are some of your on-screen, works, and which do you prefer, voiceover or, I guess, live? I guess on screen.
So,
I guess
The one that's the gift that keeps on giving is Ring, the doorbell. For those that don't know, I'm the face of the Ring doorbell. I'm on the box, I'm on Amazon, I'm on the website.
That's pretty
And they
sweet.
just re-upped my contract, so
Hell yeah, that's what we like to hear around here.
Right.
Uh-huh.
that's what we like to hear. We like a re-up. That one was cool because that was like worldwide. People were, I'm on a box.
Yeah.
I'm on a box. Like, you can't tell me anything. I'm on a box. But in terms of what I prefer voiceover. It's I don't know. I don't have to learn lines. That's, no matter what anyone says, it's not a fun thing to do. Because you'll learn an entire script for a role that you probably won't get. So now there's space in your brain that's being taken up by, something.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and now I'm at a point to where I don't learn lines. There's a
Mhm.
teleprompter app on the iPad because now I'm a master at cold reading because of voiceover. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know how to read. I'm not about to learn this whole script. And I've booked by doing that. So that's like my cheat code for all of you watching. It's a cheat code. Teleprompter app.
Dropping
But-
gems.
Yeah,
Right.
voiceover is, I'm in this booth in my house. I can work from home. I have that ease. I can be in my pajamas all day. And I'm doing something that I'm working in a medium I enjoy. I grew up with video games. I grew up with cartoons. I watch anime. I do this stuff for a living for fun. And now I'm working in something that I enjoy. Now with on camera, you could be cast in something that you'd never watch. Like, it's not
Yeah.
something that, you feel a connection to. It's just, this is my job. I'm just doing
Yeah.
this. Whereas VO, I have a very deep connection with because, this is my childhood. This is something that's fueled me even into adulthood.
Mhm.
So VO all day.
Nice.
Hell
So
yeah.
I want to piggyback, and the first thing I want to go back to, rewind real quick. is because when we were talking about The Lion King 2, these guys know that I always like to plug stuff. We interviewed Jason Marsden, who was in The Lion King 2. Yeah, go and check out that interview. It is up here on our YouTube.
Are you serious?
That's what we do.
Super
Leveling up with Benjamin Banks.
Y'all are just
We have been around for
fire.
5 years. We on season 5, and we're gonna keep on going all the way to
We've been
season
around
10.
for 4 years.
No, bro, we've been around for 5 years.
He's manifesting right now. Let's accept.
Into the 5th season.
Yeah, we're
bro.
accepting.
This is season 5. This is man. Look, this is season 5. But anyway. I wanted to ask you, because when we had interviewed Anaris Q, whose interview that y'all can check out up here on YouTube or listen to it on the podcast, one of the things that she was saying when she was coming up was when she would watch anime, she would, do voices for the characters that she was watching. And like how you were just saying, playing video games, watching anime, watching cartoons. Was that something that you did when you were younger? Did you imitate the voices? And if you did, like, who were some of the voices that you imitated?
Oh, all the time. And, I was a 90s kid, so I had all the Disney movies. I watched The Lion King an unhealthy amount. I watched, what else did I watch? Dang. Yeah. Wow, I'm really aging myself. Anyway, so I watched an unhealthy amount of movies. I had a little dinosaur couch in my room that I would sit on with a little snacky snack and a little juice cup with my little Kool-Aid in it, and I would sit and I would put a movie in. Like, before I could even make coherent sentences and read a book. Like, I was watching a movie all the time. And with anime, the schoolgirls, how they sound really soft all the time. Like, I used to always I don't know if you guys are familiar with Clanted, and people always say that it is anime? Yes. Everyone says, my opinion for this is going to be so very biased, okay? It's my opinions are my own. People always say that anime is one of the best romantic animes of all time. Absolutely not. The anime, I've watched it 3 times to make sure I was right in my inference. It's not that. I'm not gonna. Yeah. So I would, basically make fun of the girl the way she talked, because I am amazing.
I mean, as far as romance, I would say back then it had to be Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
And see, now the other thing, I'm a Sailor Moon kid.
Hey,
Sailor Moon was my gateway. Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball were my gateway into. That's why I have pink everything. She's in here with me. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
I was in Japan and I went to the Sailor Moon Museum and spent way too much money.
That is awesome.
The 90s Sailor Moon was the thing that got me into anime. Darian. Oh, Darian. You know how she had that weird way that she would say things? So I would imitate her all the time. But yeah, I think, but the funny thing is I would do it so much, but to me as a kid, it was I'm just playing pretend. And it took all the way to adulthood to realize, oh, this is something I could really do.
Yeah.
It was always on camera. And then as I became an adult, it was wait, I do this all the time. I do this for fun. Why didn't I think about this as a career path? I wanted to be on camera so bad, but this is where the fun stuff is. It's so weird how we don't really correlate the things we like into something that could make us money. No one ever thinks that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because, excuse me, it's like you were saying, growing up, it's you just joke around, play around, stuff like that. But then when you think about it, it's just I could do this for a living. And everybody that's watching or listening, it's just y'all should take Ashley's advice and pretty much start young. Please start young, because and there's nothing wrong with starting when you get older, because we've interviewed voice actors that started when they were around our age that we are right now, and it's they're doing good things. But one of the things that they always say is that they wish that they would have started when they were younger, because they could be anywhere right now. They could be some of the top voice actors in the game right now if they would have just started when they were younger. So with anything in life, if it's something that you are, want to go after, then do it.
So to touch on that, when, like I said, I took a break from doing anything acting wise, because it was I felt like I missed my shot by not taking that scholarship, which is funny. The person I went to the small town school with, he ended up going to that school, not on a scholarship, and that's why I saw him everywhere. So, like I said, the universe has a funny way.
Yep.
But I remember in high school, I wrote on a piece of paper that I was going to win an Oscar by the time I was like 23, right? Well, 23 done came, but on my 23rd birthday, first of all, I forgot all about this because I was like, yeah, this is done. I'm not going to do this anymore. 23rd birthday, and it was like, bam. I was like, how do I have this little notebook still, with all my little notes from high school? And it said right there, when I'm, 23, I'm going to win an Oscar. And it was like, and I'm sitting here in South Carolina not doing a damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, what? And so, if I had, there's always like, if I would have taken a scholarship, my life would be so different. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it would have been better. I feel like I know a lot more, I appreciate a lot more. I know why I'm doing this now versus then. I want to be in it. I want to be in it. I want to be in it. But now it's like, I want to be in it because I want to be in it so that I can do this. I want to be in it so that I can help people. I want to be in it so that I can set an example for other little girls that look like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I always think back, like if I would have, but then I'm like, but I'm appreciative that I kind of got it together. Especially now because I could have won the Oscar, but I could have been, who knows where the hell my head would have been.
Yeah.
With, not the knowledge I had. So start young, but really figure out your why. Always figure out your why. There's nothing wrong with starting young, but you have to, if you have a good foundation, then you could coast. Then you're coasting.
All right.
I love the advice.
I kind of want to stay in the same area we're in, but a different spin to the question. You said that you kind of moved around a little bit, military background. Was there anywhere you went that really helped influence what you wanted to do?
Probably South Carolina because I hated it. And it was like,
interesting.
Oh yeah. It was such a culture shock, as somebody who grew up in Arizona, lived in Europe, we lived in Holland, and because, for those of you that don't know your history, the Hollanders love, the Netherlands love Americans because we helped them during the war back in the day. So, people were super kind. Then somebody who's never grown up in the South, I end up going to the South. And I'm multi-ethnic. My mother's African American. I have very curly hair. It's not curly right now because, but I was all of a sudden I'm getting called slanders. I'm getting called stuff. And I'm like, now what is this? This is something I'm not used to. And I was like, well, I don't have a choice but to be here. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't have a choice. How can I change being here? What do I need to do? And so being somewhere, it's kind of like when you're in that lowest point of your life, and you're really thinking about a lot of things. And it's like, if you don't like something, everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. Cause and effect, right? Because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Now I'm here in a place I don't want to be. So how do I change that? Maybe I should go and do the thing that's going to get me out of here and go to the place that's going to help, elevate me to where I need to be to live out my purpose. So it wasn't really something that inspired me, but it's something that made me realize, I don't want to be here. Well, yeah, actually it was inspiring. It is pretty inspirational. Yeah.
So, I was just curious. Thanks, Trav. Thank you.
Yeah, I missed this opportunity earlier, so I'm waiting.
We back, Trav. Hey,
rewind it, bro.
We got time.
Oh, you said rewind it back. Benjamin Banks got the clap to make your booty go, what? But no, I want to go back to the Shakespeare thing, because I'm not going to say like I'm a huge Shakespeare fan, but I like some Shakespeare. And I don't know if you know this about Denzel Washington, but he said if he could just do Shakespeare his whole career, he would be fine doing that, because he came from, that's what he did before he became the huge star he is. He did Shakespeare in theater. So if you saw Tragedy of Macbeth, yes. I still think he was robbed. No disrespect to Will Smith, I still think he was robbed of that Oscar that year. That's just me. But what do you think about doing something like that, where they can kind of take Shakespeare now and change the ethnicity of characters and not have to worry about all these things, and then make it more Like all these different cultures coming in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, we're seeing it now with like if we look at Bridgerton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bridgerton.
Your boy is very familiar with Bridgerton.
Yes, like Bridgerton got every race, color, shape, size, and it was so.
My man coming back too. Season 3. My man's coming back.
Yeah, I was. It really moved me when they were talking about the reason that they made the queen African American, because they were like, yeah, everybody else is everything else, but we had to make the highest authority, African American for people to see, and it's so weird that they said, that we have to think like that. Like if she was Caucasian, maybe we would have felt different, but because the highest authority is African, a descent. It's kind of like, why do I say African American? They're English.
Yeah.
African descent. It kind of sets the tone for everything else. Like, oh no, this is the culture. You know what I mean? But when you're watching Bridgerton, you're not thinking like, now why is he black? And in like this time, because he would have been a slave. You know what I mean? Like he would have been the servant. Which it's like it's normal now. Like this is the world we live in. So why the hell not? You know what I mean?
I feel that way for Hamilton. Like you don't think about, like clearly all these
Thomas
people
Jefferson's black.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think now it's like shows like that and like what they did with Macbeth. It's like you're giving us the permission that people need to see. Oh no, we can do this. It doesn't have to be. I mean, the slave movies have their place. Yeah. But I want to see the king and queen that look like me. You know what I mean? Like the slave movies have their place. We have enough of them.
Yeah. Hey, look, Ashley. Amen. Just be real, because me and D talk about this all the time. It's just like we didn't already seen enough slaves.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Give me somebody that's that's a black astronaut or like a black person that invented time travel or something like Lovecraft Country, for example.
All right. Oh, I thought you was
so good.
So
and
good.
they
I thought you was gonna bring up the Christmas movie with Keegan.
Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle.
That's what I want to see.
Inventor.
I'm like, don't nobody care about no slave movies.
Like how many?
Exactly.
I know. So many. You know what sucks though is that, and I mean, what is my opinion, anyways?
Try, you got an opinion, bro. We're one team.
Try. We got
just one band, one sound.
I hate how good they are, though. Like I don't know if you saw Emancipation with Will Smith.
No, I didn't see it.
It's just when you look at it, you're like, do we got to watch another one of these? And I totally get it. But it's like, damn, I watch it and I'm like, but Will Smith's performance was so damn good.
I got a chip on my shoulder about that, brother. But
about Will Smith?
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We don't need to dive into it. I lost a lot of faith in him when that happened. But now before that, good act. But I just feel like the message is always the same at the end of the day. Yeah. That's the problem. It's very
slavery is
repetitive.
Bad.
Yeah, slavery bad.
Like you know what? And since we're talking about this, because Ashley, did you watch that show on Amazon called Them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
Okay, so when that show came out, like there was just so much going on in the world at the time, and I was just like, when I watch a show, I want to be able to escape from reality. Like I don't want to be reminded of.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? And
didn't that come out during COVID?
Yes, it came out during COVID, and it came out during like the protests and stuff. The George Floyd stuff. And my thing that I would say is that the reason why I love Lovecraft Country is because in that show, yes, you had racism, but it wasn't like the central focus of the show. Mm-hmm. Whereas on Them, it's like it was just the central focus. It's just like
that show was traumatic. It was traumatic.
Very traumatic. And
kind of rough watch.
Yeah, it was very rough. And I know that they said that they're supposed to be coming out with a season 2 that's supposed to be set in the 90s, and I'm just like,
Trav will let us know how that is. But yeah, Lovecraft should have got another season.
Lovecraft should have got another season.
I don't know, because I'm like, where could you go that's gonna be as good as that? Like
they left us
on a cliffhanger.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It ended on a cliffhanger. And even if they didn't want to do Lovecraft Country again, they could have did another story within like that same universe with new characters and whatnot. Because I would have been down for that. And I just love the fact that we see more people of color and like
black sci-fi.
Yeah, black sci-fi, anime, cartoons. There's this new show that just came out on Disney. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a girl. She's on roller skates and she has
the dinosaur.
There we go. Yeah.
Demon Dino.
Yeah. Wait.
There we go. So
some Moon Girl and Demon Dino.
Yes. And to go back to what Ashley was just saying, it's just like, just seeing more people that look like us and they're not in positions where it's like they're struggling or like they have to.
It's not really realistic to now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really relate to people now.
Yeah, relate to it. Like, it's like nobody wants to see slave movies anymore.
Yeah, because they're kind of period pieces. I mean,
and I bet you in a couple of years, like there's going to be another slave movie and
every Black History Month. Yeah, there's a new one.
Yeah, it's just like I will say for Black History
Month. I was going to say we are getting the musical Color Purple.
I do want to see that. I do want to see
that. Good. I love Color Purple. The book is fantastic. The book is fantastic. Mm-hmm. The movie was great. The musical was great. Are you kidding me? Cynthia Erivo.
They had a all-star cast for that too.
Yes.
So like,
what? Yeah, no question. Color Purple.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Now, I just want to mention one movie. Have y'all ever seen the movie Fences with Denzel?
Of course.
Yes.
All those people.
Hey, we just did it this past week on Act and Direct. We just covered Fences.
Yeah, but it's just I'm okay with films like that where it's not just centered around. Just straight slavery, bro. It's just that shit is.
Well, there's no slavery in Fences.
I'm saying I can deal with a movie like Fences, where it's like you get the point of the movie. Yes, but not. You know what I'm saying? That stuff. It just makes me want to laugh.
And it's crazy because again, that's another Denzel movie where not very often does Denzel play a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Most of the time you rooting for Denzel. Pretty much Training Day is like the only other movie I could think of where he's just a complete ass.
Oh yeah, most
he's
of the
just
so diverse. Though,
like,
that's what it's so fun to watch him though because of his like.
Oh, he can do it all.
His range, man. He's just but continue.
So you know what? I'm gonna go this route because. You know how you were just saying that you like to root for Denzel and stuff. I just watched Ant-Man 3 and I was rooting for my boy Kang. I wanted my boy Jonathan Majors. I wanted him to come up on top. And when it comes to black actors like that are like the current hot black actors in Hollywood right now, Jonathan Majors is one of my favorite actors. So Ashley, I want to ask you.
Oh, hold on. Before you ask her that question, I'm gonna put a pause in that because if you saw the Jonathan Majors Variety cover photo shoot
coming after him,
hold on, but more importantly,
it was one.
Hey, who was my man dressed as? Flamingo, baby.
No way.
For real.
He had the Flamingo get up.
He was, and look, people were trying to come after him. It's just like. These people never watched anime, so they don't know.
Oh man, that's so sweet. That's fire. That's fire. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna look it up.
So actually, like, who are some of your favorite black actors currently in Hollywood right now?
Jonathan Majors for sure. I don't know if you guys are familiar with where he kind of got his first acclaim, which was The Last Black Man in San Francisco. He plays obscure characters so well, but then seeing him in Lovecraft Country, I was like, oh, he is a force. He is a force. And now seeing him get bigger roles, and I'm like, I cannot wait for him to get an Oscar. I'm literally feeling, I'm manifesting it for him. Yes,
I'm still waiting on Michael B. Jordan to stop getting robbed of his Oscar.
I'm waiting on her and Lakeith too. I want Lakeith.
Well, when I'm gonna still give him an L for being L because that movie was terrible.
It was,
it was terrible. But no, literally,
Brian Tyree Henry is another one.
I'm a Childish Gambino fan. I love Donald Glover. Atlanta.
I'm so mad that it's over. Like,
yeah, but like everything he does, I'm a fan. Like I was a mixtape fan. But literally, he writes, comedy in such a way that it's like, wow, that's you're really cool. Like he's just cool.
It's the same with Gerard Carmichael. They're very special when they write something and put something.
Yeah, and it's like nobody else could replicate that. I honestly don't think so. It's like dark comedy, but it translates so well. It's like satirical almost. Like,
now, I know that we're just listing a bunch of men, but I can't move past this without mentioning my girl Zazie Beetz. Like, I love her too.
Zazie.
Like, hey, when I saw her in Atlanta, and then to see where she's at now, like she's in everything now. Like everybody that was on Atlanta is doing something, and like I feel like that's the reason why they had to bring it to an end, because who would have thought that they would have blew up after
They're too booked and busy. They're too booked and busy. Like, hey, if I'm too booked and busy, if we're all too booked and busy, that means we're doing something right. Like,
square.
Yeah, we can move on. We can move on. Okay, well, you asked currently, but let's talk about people that inspired us that are like OGs.
Okay.
Because for me, it was Sidney Poitier.
Of course.
First black man to win an Oscar. Literally, I've seen every single movie he's ever been in. Denzel, and then Halle Berry. Yep. Halle Berry was the second black woman to ever win an Oscar. And I've always been a Halle Berry fan, like forever. And of course, we have Angela Bassett. And Angela Bassett,
oh my God, yes,
will always get acclaim for me because she was doing the actors, the round table they always do, like during the Oscar time.
Yeah, at the table, ATR.
Yes,
at the round table.
And so she was doing it with a bunch of leading ladies of various colors, various acclaim, and they were talking about being nude in film, like showing our skin as women, what that does. And one was like, oh, I have to be nude because that's what we're offered for these big roles, and da 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 da. And Angela was quick with it, and she said, I have never had to do that to get where I'm at. And I was like, there you go, because that's why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the example, especially as black women, especially as because we were always fetishized, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about some black history here. Let's talk about some black history. We were always fetishized. We exotic, curvy, all that kind of stuff. And so for me, the turning point was I never wanted to do that. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. I don't see what the point is. Sometimes I think we overly sexualize our media anyway. You look at other shows, like I'm a huge K-drama fan, and they're so good. They're so good because they don't have to do all of that. It's just about the story. They never have to do that. If anything, we'd be losing our minds when they hold hands and kiss. But they don't have to do that. So it's like, why do we feel like we have to do it? Because then you just kind of, it's kind of annoying now because it's like, I'm just seeing naked bodies for no reason. Like, it's not serving a purpose. And so I remember it was some years ago, and I had a very prominent agency wanting to rep me, it would have been like fantastic. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions she asked during our interview was, what are your hard lines? And I was like, I'm just not I'm not comfortable with being nude on camera. And she immediately was like, oh, so you don't want to be a leading lady. And I said, excuse me? And she was like, well, I'm just telling you, the roles that I already know that I'm going to put you up for, like, they're going to want to, you're going to have to be nude. You're going to have to be comfortable showing skin for these roles like HBO, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, okay. Thank you so much for your time. And of course I didn't sign with her because you should have never said that to me.
Yeah.
And that kind of lit a fire into my butt because it was like, how many girls are coming into this thinking they have to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now my mission is to make it as far as I can to show other little girls of, all the shades of brown that you can make your own path regardless of what Hollywood says, regardless of what everyone around you says. This is your career. This is your life. This is your purpose. You can pave it any way you want, just power ahead. You don't have to do it the way they're trying to make you do it.
Yeah.
value yourself. Don't
right.
conform. Don't conform to this. Because at the end of the day, that can lead to other things. Like, we have little girls now, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the state of the media. Like, kids are watching stuff where it's like, you shouldn't be doing that. And then it's like all these different problems. So it's like, that's like my goal for doing this is to show other kids, like, you don't have to do that. You can be a leading lady, and I can tell you can, because Angela Bassett said it out of her mouth. So if Angela Bassett can be an Oscar, Oscar, Golden Globe, Emmys, all that kind of stuff, and she didn't have to show her skin, then so can I, and so can you, and so can you, and so can you.
I was gonna say, I don't think Viola Davis has ever done any new film neither.
Has
and she's an Epcot winner now, so
she's got an EGOT.
EGOT, yeah. I don't know. I said Epcot, like I'm at Disney.
I'm trying to think. What was the movie that she was in? I can't remember if she was nude in it or not.
I'm just saying I don't recall her.
It was the movie where her husband had died, and it was
not the movie that How to Get Away with Murder.
No, it was her. Dang, I'm about to look it up. I can't remember.
And J-Lo, is it that one? I know.
No, J-Lo wasn't in it. Michelle Rodriguez was in it. It was like a bunch of wives, and her husband.
Mafia movie,
like something like her husband. Her husband was your dude from Taken. I can't remember his name.
You're talking about the movie, all their husbands were like on a team or something. Like
they were on a team, and it's just like I'm about to look it up right now.
Also, I just found out that Mike Coulter's her cousin, and that kind of like threw me through a loop. Yeah.
Widows. The movie is called Widows.
Okay, I never seen that.
I feel like it was like one scene where she was naked in it, but I feel like too, like that just has to be like a choice that you want to do, but
like a personal choice.
Yeah, personal choice.
Yes.
But like you were saying, Ashley, it's just like, like you don't have to show skin just to make it, and you don't have to sell out. At the end of the day, like that's what it is. And I feel like with any profession that you're in, it's just like people will always give you that option, and then they try to make it seem like, well, if you don't want to do it, then you're not going to make it. But no, it's like, even if it takes you longer to get to the top because you aren't doing what everybody else is doing, then so be it. As long as you're keeping your integrity, that's all that matters. At the end of the day,
Banks, we call that taking the high road, my friend.
Yeah,
simple way to say.
Yeah, and she should have never opened her mouth. Because I remember her name. I remember where she works. She better wait till I win my Oscar. Because I'm going to be like, I want to thank da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. Because guess what? I won the Oscar for being a leading lady, and I didn't have to be naked. So you should have never opened your mouth.
I love that.
And
when you win that Oscar, and you up there on stage, make sure you be like, I said that on the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast. Make sure you say that. And look, we gonna be in the crowd. We gonna have some breadsticks.
That's right. That's right.
Oh God, this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have some breadsticks for you. And we're gonna be like, yeah, that's right. Like she said that on our podcast.
And what's crazy is like people do this. Like Hollywood is known to be very cutthroat.
Yeah,
they'll say whatever, and it's like, and words matter. What people say, even about you, even to you, it matters if you accept them. So it's like when she said that, I was like, not today, Satan. I'm going to go ahead and prove you wrong because I am a leading lady. I will be a leading lady. But there's people that really take that stuff to heart, man. Like
some people just fold under pressure thinking that that's the only way. That's what it is.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like Hollywood, you don't got to be like that. Like you don't got to say stuff like that. Like, oh, well, you're just not going to make it. Well, you're just not going to. Like, you don't have to say that because now we have anxiety, we have depression, we have imposter syndrome, which runs very rampant. So yeah, it's just, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to just change everything. I call it my world domination plan. I'm just trying to change the scope of media and the entertainment industry.
And I love that because it's like, I'm doing something now where it's just like, I'm trying to take over the world as well. And,
Michael?
No, I'm not.
Michael.
No, with the Kotsky. We're trying to
I had to plug it.
Hey, they both sound the same though, in all fairness.
But Ashley, I want to ask you, like, what are some big animes or cartoons that are out there that you would love to lend your voice to?
Oh my god, I feel like all my shows I love are done. Yeah, every show that I would be like, oh my god, I would love to be in that. I would love to be in My Hero. I'm a manga reader as well, and
Same.
I'm like, y'all got enough characters.
You caught up? Are you caught up?
I'm like at least 4 behind.
Okay, all right.
I'm 4 behind, but yeah, I was like,
good. It's good.
I was like, y'all got enough characters. You could give me 1. Like y'all got enough in there. I love Fire Force. Fire Force is fantastic as well. I'm not reading the manga on that one, but it's just as good. Jujutsu Kaisen is also fantastic. But if I could be in ones that are not currently, anything Sailor Moon, I could be the bird that flies by saying caw. You know, I would live.
That was me.
That was me. Uh-huh.
That was me. I love obscure anime that like nobody really pays attention to, like Parasite the Maxim.
That was good. That was really good.
That's one of my favorite animes of all time. I would have loved to be in that.
The live action, not so much.
No, what?
Live action. Gotta be careful with live actions.
It was okay. But the anime was just fantastic. Tokyo Ghoul. I've watched it a bajillion times. I've also read the manga. What else? Oh, I like really funny ones like Masamune Kun's Revenge. It's a slice of life about this kid who was fat and the girl next door was super rich and mean and bullied him, and he was like, I'm gonna grow up and be hot and ruin your life. And so he like grew up and was like trying to ruin her life. That one was great. The Devil's a Part-Timer.
Ooh.
Another one that I would
that,
love
Bank?
to be a part of.
I tell Bank to watch that one. That is such a funny.
It's coming
It's
back.
so funny.
Oh my goodness.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I started watching One Piece. What else do you want from me, man?
I didn't ask you to watch One Piece. You told me you didn't have time. And JoJo, and it's too long.
Good luck.
I mean, it is too long, but I mean, like, I still love watching JoJo's.
I got a library right here
because it's so quick to get through. Like, I mean, it doesn't
Just come over. You can check out 5 volumes at a time.
I'm good. I can read it on my phone, but
yeah.
But Ashley, I do want to say that is a good list of like animes that you would like to be on. Like, I hope that I'm manifesting it now because it's just like people come up here, they say stuff, and it eventually happens. And like,
okay, well, let's go. Let's go, leveling up. We're leveling up.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We leveling up. And one thing that we always tell people that come up here, and I'm going to segue this to D because this is the D section.
I know where you're going, Captain.
We have people come up here, and then it's like after they're up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, they're in Genshin Impact, and you are already in Genshin Impact. Yes. So maybe this time you'll be the first person that has come up here and it's like, I want to be in My Hero Academia, and then soon,
let's go.
We'll see you in My Hero Academia. So now, D, this segues to you. I'm about to pass you the ball. Because you're the resident Genshin Impact player up here.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and take it away.
She's evaded me so far, gentlemen, but y'all will get the screenshot when I grab it. What is it like being a part, and you voice Layla? Mm-hmm. I think you're one of the last 3 characters to come out at least. So what is it, I mean, to be released in the game. So what is it like being part of a growing franchise like Genshin? I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger. I mean, they're bringing in people to voice the villains now, and it's just building on its structure. So, I mean, how'd you feel about booking it?
I'm not gonna lie, I shed a couple tears because I've been playing Genshin since it first came out. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah, like I've been playing Genshin since it came out. Took some breaks here and there, but then when I had like my friends like Shara Kirby,
hey, we interviewed Shara.
I love Shara. I love Shara, but when Shara was in, I was like, oh, and then Danny Chambers. I was like, oh, I gotta
Danny too.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I gotta play this. I gotta get my girls, support my girls. And I don't think anyone anticipated this game being as big as it is.
Visually, it's amazing. The soundtrack's pretty sweit. I mean, it's just such a complete project.
It's been a bit of a whiplash because I was booking things that pay very well. but people don't care about it. You have to be the favorite flavor of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be in something that, you know, the fans care about. If it's not anime, if it's not a JRPG, you could be on a series regular Cartoon Network show that's as big as Adventure Time, and they're just not gonna care.
Yeah,
that's true.
But that doesn't bother me, you know, because I'm still getting a check. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to know. Yeah, I don't need you to know who I am. So being in Genshin, especially with Layla, because she's, I mean, visually, she's
such a fun character.
They were in their bag, you know, designing her. And she was a challenge to voice, not gonna lie. She was a bit of a challenge because she's very breathy and high, and I usually don't book very soft girls, but now I have. Ever since I got her, like I book a lot of soft girls now. So thank you, Layla.
Challenge is good, right?
Challenge is good, but it's like you can't be too much like Chi-Chi. You can't be too much like this person. Make her whiny, not too whiny. Make her high, not too high. Sleepy, not too sleepy. And then she has a whole different form to her where she's not asleep. So, you know, she was a little challenge. But I love her. I loved the reception that the fans had with her. Because, you know, Genshin fans, they're ride or die. They'll either try to kill you or they'll ride really hard. And they've been fantastic to me. I can say, which is great. And they love her. They love me voicing her, which is also pretty great because they're very picky.
I just wanted to piggyback and say that you know, I appreciate your effort, you know, voicing her, because she is very like just based on her lines, it's very unique. Oh, and then the character is like, it's so up and down and a lot of different stuff, like the sleepiness. So it's you know, kudos to you for the range. She was probably the first thing I've ever done that was hard. I mean, it's just so all over the place. Yeah, just to maintain that, and then, you know, I would have to schedule my sessions for her on days that I knew I wasn't doing anything else, because after a 4-hour session doing that voice, you know, your voice is not where it should be. So then it was like, okay, let's take care of it for the night, and then the next day you got to go back in. And some days you couldn't get into it right away, so it was like really having to work back into that. So it really taught me a lot. Vocal care is very important, which, you know, I don't really do it that well, but now I do. So yeah, it made me appreciate the tool, but it also made me appreciate, you know, the platform, because I mean, the moment you announce your Genshin, you get like it blew up so quick. 4,000 followers, and I was like, I don't be on here. I guess I should. Like, y'all are here for me. I guess I should do something. You know, so I started streaming as well. I'm not that good, but you know, I'm just like, you know, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to stream, but I always try to preface, like, I'm not a Genshin streamer. I stream whatever the hell I want. So if you're here for Genshin, sorry. Yeah,
I just wanted to piggyback because you brought us here. What types of games do you stream, or is there a game you want to build up to stream? Like, what game was it that you played a lot of that you wish you could stream, or do you stream that now?
I wish I could stream Final Fantasy 14, but that is a comfort game to me, and I don't want to stream
That's
it.
Right. That's right. Yeah, because, that's right.
Yes. Because the moment you stream, yes.
Yeah. Damn right.
So the moment you stream something, it takes the comfort out of it, and it's more so like, okay, we're doing this to entertain.
Yeah.
Let's do, you know, this, that, and the third. But I love an MMO. I'm a Final Fantasy 14 gal. I was a beta tester. Fun fact, I used to be a manager at GameStop for 5 years. So video games are part of everything.
You get that discount.
I play.
Bro, 100%. It's not much. It's not much.
It's not much, but when you are an employee, you can rent games.
I know, right? Okay, all right. Hold on. So since we're right here, right? Okay. Because you used to work at GameStop.
Did you used to work at GameStop?
Yes, I used to work there. Yeah, I was working. I was working there during the holidays. What was it called? when you worked during the holidays?
Bees
Was it
and-
like
Oh,
a,
you
Holiday help?
a game
Bees
ambassador or something like that?
Game ambassador. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
real?
no. Yeah, your
Advisor.
game, your game advisor.
Yes, there we go. Game advisor. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because it's like I feel like everybody. I don't think anybody wants to work at GameStop now, but back in the day, everybody wanted to work at GameStop.
Yeah.
And it's like when I had got in there, I found out that you could check out games. You could check out used games, and it was different at every store. But if you checked out a used game, it was 4 days. Was it like that at your store?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it for 4 days. But if you checked out a new game, I think you could only have the new game for like
They let you check out new games?
yes, and I think you could only have it for like a day or two. But I will tell you, when I used to check out those used games, I would be like, leave me alone. I'm going to try to beat this game in 4 days because I got 4 days to have it. And if it was a longer game, then I would just recheck it out. But I remember, and this is going to show my age, but Mortal Kombat versus DC had just come out.
Yep.
And I remember one of the employees, like the game had got bad reviews and stuff like that. And one of the employees was just like, I really want to play this game. And if you checked out a new game and you got a scratch on it, then you had to pay full price for the game. So he checked it out. He tried to take it back and had a scratch up there, and he had to pay the $50, was it $50-$60 for the game?
Ooh.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
affordable
bro, I would have checked out a game that was way better than Mortal Kombat versus DC. But
Dang.
but it goes back to, because like how you were just saying, like they will let you check out new games. You know, they gut the game, so it's just like
that's
so you can check out a new game, but it's just like you had to pay for it. So
I do want to add in something. It's just when you worked at GameStop, Banks, this is before. It's just like how we talk about anime and the exposure and stuff like. There wasn't a bunch of outlets to get games then, so it had a little bit more value to it. Like I can just go online and just buy a game.
Hey, GameFly was popping back then.
GameFly.
I didn't use GameFly.
I never used it either. It was so damn expensive, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Blockbuster was still around too at that point in time.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Dang.
Captain.
No, but I mean, like we're getting close to the end of the interview, and
I
have one question that I want to ask you. Then D, he has his wrap up question. Trav, before I ask my question, do you have any more questions?
I feel like I've been drained, sir.
I feel like I've been drained.
I've been drained. All right.
Hey, I like to talk, so I cover a lot sometimes. I like to talk.
Trust me, we like to talk.
Okay.
Well, Ashley, look, I think that me and you, we're going to be friends after this because
I think so.
These guys get on me all the time because I like to talk
What
too.
I do.
It's like
that's what I was created to do.
It's like I know one time I interviewed Ron Rubin, whose episode you can check out up here on the podcast or on YouTube. But it was a one-man show. It was a whole hour interview, and I remember because D, he couldn't do it because of work, and then Trav, it was something wrong with your internet or something that night.
Could have been.
It was something, and I was just like, bro, I can handle it. Like I like to talk. I know how to talk. Like I could do a 2-hour interview by myself. But anyway, the question that I have for you, Ashley, is because this is Black History Month, I want to know who is a fictional character that is one of your favorite Black fictional characters. So it could be anybody from an anime, cartoon, movie, TV show, stage play. Like, who is one of your favorite fictional Black characters?
The Black Green Lantern.
I
used to watch Justice League all the freaking time, and Jon Stewart is just
the goat Green Lantern.
That's my Green Lantern. I don't care about everybody else's, but that's mine. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's everybody in our age group to be.
Like
it should be.
Like
but you'd be surprised.
He had better constructs too.
To
be fair, he had sweet constructs. He had like the giant what was it, the minigun and all that. Hal Jordan was making planes and stuff.
Hal Jordan also, like, he's silly. Like, Jon Stewart, like, you respect him.
He's serious.
Yeah, Jon Stewart was like, hello.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, like I'm listening. You know what I mean?
Stewart,
like,
you just little Jon Stewart.
He did have that military dad kind of vibe to him.
I'm
definitely.
That's fine. He was.
Hey, Jon Stewart was for the people. You know, he went to the hood. He was playing basketball with them. He went to the barbershop. I mean, it's like, Trav, you laughing, but it's like, we talk about this like on the Flash TV show, right? Ooh. It's just like Barry Allen ain't never gone to the hood on the show. I'm just like, I mean, crime goes down there.
They did on Invincible though.
They did it on Invincible.
Yeah,
and that's
sure
why I love
did.
Yeah, that's why I love that.
Good. Yeah, no, but yeah, Jon Stewart, and it was something. I think it's more special to me because me and my mom used to watch Justice League together, and that's something that always like replays for me is like the times that we used to sit and like she'd be like, "Ooh, Justice League is on, like get you a snack and let's watch it," and I'd be like, "Okay," and that was like our show. Like my mom's watching the cartoon with me, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, before when I was little, she'd be like, "Okay, what movie do you want to watch?" But you know, now that I'm a little older, she'd be like, "Yeah, let's sit down and watch Justice League." So it has a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But she even says, she'd be like, "Yeah, Jon Stewart," and I'm like, "Yeah, Mom, Jon Stewart. It's Jon Stewart for me."
Yeah, a hell of a lot of airtime in that cartoon too.
Yeah,
that Justice League cartoon should have been longer than it was.
Thank you.
Man, I honestly feel like it ended when it needed to end.
No,
and it's just
you always say that.
But I mean, it's just like
Banks still want the Flash to keep.
It's like with Jerry.
The show?
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, yes.
The CW
show? That was what? Yes.
Hold on, I because I was talking and Trav said something. What did you say, Trav?
I said, we know you don't even want the Flash to end right
this
now.
Guy,
you know,
like,
you want to keep
I was talking with D about the Flash show earlier, and I was just like, why am I putting myself through this?
The CW?
Yeah.
Good God.
The only reason why I'm watching it is because it's the final season. And I've been watching it since the beginning. And
he got an excuse every season.
It's not an excuse. Like
he's a film critic. You're a true.
Yeah,
film
I mean, like
critic,
it's
right?
like I'm gonna watch something until the end. I mean, now I can't say that about everything because I did give up on The Walking Dead. But I mean, like there's certain shows that you watch.
That show got really weird though. Yeah. Walking Dead got really weird.
It did.
You gotta read the comics.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They had the comics is the way to go because they had stormtroopers up there on the show.
Yeah.
And they kind of do that in the comics, but it's like it's just body armor. But anyways, we're not going there. We're done with that episode.
But I mean, D, since you're talking, we're here at the end of the interview. Go ahead and ask away your final question.
I've been waiting to play this trap card. Trav, introduce your new 2 questions.
Huh?
Right?
Man, messed me up too.
Trav hit you with the
I wasn't expecting this.
He was like,
yeah, he definitely reverse Uno'd me.
Bro, he hit you with the Tim Allen.
Okay, so here at the end, 2 wrap-up questions. First, favorite 80s or 90s movie, or both if you have one of each.
Favorite 80s or 90s movie? Ooh, that's tough. That's a hard question. Do cartoons count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brave Little Toaster?
Rock-a-Doodle?
That's a good one, but no.
Fargo?
A Goofy movie.
Ooh! Hey, just to let y'all know, we interviewed Jason Marsden.
Please, like that is such a flex. Like, yeah, I don't even know that is such a flex.
Okay, all right. So hold on. Look, right before we move along, right? Because Trav and D weren't there, right? So it was Tidewater Comic Con because we're here from Virginia, VA, and it was Tidewater Comic Con, and I was walking around the con before it started because I was a guest there. And I saw this guy. And I was just like, man, that looks like Jason Marsden, man. But I was like, I ain't gonna go up to him and say anything because I'm one of those type of people. It's like I don't want to ask somebody. So I go over to our table and I'm just sitting there, and then like this dude come up to me and he was like, "Hey, you're Benjamin Banks, right?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm Jason Marsden. You interviewed me on your podcast." And I was like, "Oh my god, I knew that was you." And he was just like, "Yeah, I could never forget a name like Benjamin Banks." And I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate that." And
such a flex.
I got a picture with him, and like, yeah, it is a flex. So I just had to tell that story. But go ahead.
It's a great story, man.
Man, y'all are cool.
Yeah. So is that your? What was your answer? Goofy movie says 90s.
A Goofy movie came out in the 90s.
Yes. So do you have an 80s?
Let me think hard.
Or since we know that you like black and white films, kind of grew up on it. What's your favorite black and white film? Let's change this a little bit.
I like that, D. I like that.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay. My black and white. Okay. So mine is a little controversial, but
it's not a slavery movie, is it?
Oh no.
Put the pot down.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So a film I watched all the time, and I have on DVD, is Gone with the Wind.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah.
Trav.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I love Gone with the Wind. One, it gave us our very first Black woman African American Oscar win, by the way. Yep. So you can't cancel out the movie that really had people upset that a Black woman's walking up on the stage.
Yep. They're
booing her, and she's just up there accepting her award. Mind you, they had to make her come out through the back.
Yep.
She came through the back. She came through the back and still came up and grabbed an award that she won out of everybody. So I was like, now that's a flex.
Yeah. Super flex.
Yeah, I love the movie because literally Scarlett O'Hara is the worst person ever. And it's like, you don't want to root for her. You know what I mean? Like, the acting in this movie, she's literally a villain the whole time. It's a villain story. She's a villain the whole time. She wants everything her way, and when it seems like she gets it, it's never enough. And she doesn't win in the end. It's one of those movies where it's like you see somebody get everything they've ever wanted.
Yep.
And they lose it all at the end. You know what I mean? And she's a terrible human being, by the way. But that's why I like it. And I'm a Rhett Butler fan as well. But yeah, it's a movie that, I mean, it's history. It's literally Black history because it gave us our very first award. So I was like, I mean, everybody hates it. Yeah, I get it. But we got an award. So
hell yeah.
And it changed American cinema. Like, it's very pivotal to Americans. It's just very problematic.
It's problematic
in hindsight.
Yeah,
in hindsight, I can see why it's problematic. But like, you can't cancel something that literally put us in a position to where people were kind of like, oh, wait, they can do that too?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they can win the awards we're supposed to get? You know, they're shaking in their boots now. You know, now they're like, oh, wait, what? Like, I thought I was supposed to win. No, you didn't. So she came from the back. She came from the kitchen and took it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, it's kind of, and I'm sorry, D, but it's interesting that you were saying that about like when people are just like, oh wow, like they can get these awards or they can get these roles and whatnot. Because when we were interviewing Bill Butts, and he was telling us about like how, you know, the change happened in voice acting where a lot of Black voice actors were getting opportunities now that they originally weren't getting. And it's like, y'all can pretty much voice anybody now, anybody that you want. And, you know, he did say that like there are some people that are just like, well, like, how did this person get this role over me? And then, like he said, it's just like, cause they're better than you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the field is open for everybody now. And it just sucks that it was because of the pandemic that, you know, that Black voice actors, they weren't getting those opportunities before the pandemic. But you know, one of the good things that did come out of the pandemic was that more opportunities did come. So I just think that it's cool. And I wanted to piggyback off of what you had said about that.
Well, second question. Growing up, was there anything that spooked you, scared you, or stayed with you? Whether it was Creepy Lullaby, Weird Doll, Shadows Off a Tree. What do you have? Everybody has something.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I don't know if y'all are familiar with The Grudge or The Ring, the movies that came out in the 2000s.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know, I grew up in a very religious household. You know, those of us that got Black moms, you know, I was sleep in the pew at church for the 24-hour prayer. Like, that's how religious, like, we was in it, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, don't you go see that movie. And I had a youth center where I grew up, and they would play it. And I was like, how are y'all playing this for us? They played The Grudge, and I was like, ooh, my mom said I can watch this. Let's watch this, you know, me and my friends. To this day.
To this day.
I literally have to have a light in my room, some sort. And I hate that noise that she makes. And I hate the white noise the TV does. For The Ring, you know, the 7 days. Yeah, all of that. Those movies scared me for life. for life. And I had the audacity to think I was big and bad and grown and was like, oh, I'm going to watch the Japanese version. That was worse. That was so much worse.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, the Grudge, literally, sometimes it'd be in the shower and I can't close my eyes when I'm in the shower.
You got that little boy coming up on you.
Oh, my God.
No good.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, those movies. Yeah, I'm proud to say it. I have a nightlight because I don't like it all the way dark.
Is it the nightlight with the stars up there that shine in the room and everything?
I have that I have a game room and I have that, but it's like a seashell and it's just like a little seashell plug-in.
I remember
the
seashell nightlight.
Yeah,
bro, I had the Jesus nightlight when I was a kid. It looked like the Rio de Janeiro.
I remember that.
That's what I needed.
Oh, God.
That's exactly what I needed because, yeah.
Well, Ashley, I just want to say, because you do like watching Japanese horror films, please stay away from the film Pulse. Just don't watch that movie.
What is it?
It's Pulse. Don't watch that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's horrible. Trav is the only person that likes it.
It's a good movie.
So you like horror, Trav? You like horror?
No, we all like horror.
Yeah, we all love horror.
But that movie is horrible.
This is wrong with you people.
This is a very artsy Cronenberg. He's known as the Japanese Cronenberg.
All right.
So it's very artsy.
Yeah. We got recommendations if you want good scary movies.
You know what though?
We got you.
It's very weird because I don't like real life horror, but I love animated horror. Like Junji Ito, the new Junji Ito stuff, I absolutely love. Like I said, Parasite the Maxim. I like psychological thrillers, like for animes, like Psychopaths is great, Death Parade is great.
Have you ever seen an old anime called Akira?
Yep, Akira.
Let me recommend this one. Have you ever seen Serial Killing Lands? Oh,
that doesn't sound real.
Serial Experiments Lands.
No.
Psychological anime horror from the 90s. Fire.
Yeah, I love Elfin Lead.
I just recently started watching it. That's
really gory stuff, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, I love it. So, but I can't do real life. But I love it.
Live action.
Yeah, but I love a horror, psychological, gory anime. Like that's my jam. That's my jam.
All right. Interesting. All right. Well, we're here at the end of the interview. Right. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us up here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, it was fun.
So much fun.
This was fun. Fun. And I appreciate you following me. And then,
of course,
and then sliding in the DMs, and we was able to set this up, man. I'm really happy about that. So before we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
So you can find me at Ash the Great, ASHE the Great on Twitter, and Ash_the Great on Instagram, and Ash dot the Great on Instagram, and Ash_the Great on Twitch. I don't have a streaming schedule. I kind of just do it when I feel the urge, the itch. But yeah, thanks for having me,
they be tuning
guys.
in. We seen it. We seen them tuning in.
That's true. That's true.
All right. And Trav, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Of course, I'm on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I'm on the Twitter and the TikToks at TravIOSZK, where I'm also on Letterboxd, ranking and rating my movie watches. D, where they gonna find the Venom at, baby?
As always, you can find me at rebellious_D23 Instagram.com. And Banks, if they need a hero, where can they find one?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all again for watching this interview. And make sure that you stay tuned for some more interviews that we have up here on the channel. Yes. Check out the podcast, where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday. Yes. The link is down below in the description. And with that being said,
don't be a viewer, be a fan. Don't be a viewer, be a fan. Let's go.
I love that. Don't be a viewer, be a fan.
Be a fan.
With that being said, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. podcast. We got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.